You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
We're standing outside the imposing front of the Methodist Central Hall in Westminster. The building which stands here today was built in the early 20th century for use as a church and conference centre. Before this building was here, however, this was the site of the Royal Aquarium of Westminster. The Royal Aquarium had a rather speckled history in the 27 years for which it occupied this site. It was opened with much anticipation in January 1876. There were library rooms, picture and sculpture galleries, a grand theatre, halls for fruit and flower shows, and a skating rink. 13 tanks of large proportions stood on either side of the central open space to house the aquarium's fish. Unfortunately, due to mechanical problems with the water system, the tanks were lacking in both water and fish at the grand opening. The lack of aquatic residents in the Royal Aquarium soon became a standing joke amongst the public in London. In September 1877, the owners managed to procure a 9-foot whale from Labrador in North America, which promptly died just 3 days after its relocation to Westminster. By the 1880s, the tanks were allegedly well supplied with fish life in great variety, including several specimens of octopus and some seals. The aquarium also appeared to play host to a variety of fish caught in the Thames and other local bodies of water, such as a 12-pound trout caught by a Mr. F.C. Hatfield of the Silver Trout Angling Club. Instead of the intellectual lectures and events which the founders had intended the space for, the aquarium soon became famous for its novelty circus acts, such as the appearance in 1897 of Professor Peterson, veteran trainer of animals, and his celebrated troupe of dogs. The dogs, prior to enacting a petite comedy drama, were due to correctly play on glass bottles God Save the Queen. A review of this alleged performance is sadly lacking. In September 1892, the aquarium played host to the annual show of the National Chrysanthemum Society. Formed in 1846, the National Chrysanthemum Society had held many shows over the years, but the star attraction of this show was some chrysanthemums grown in Wellington in New Zealand. As the sea voyage from New Zealand at this time would have taken several months, these flowers were frozen in large cylindrical blocks of ice 5 months in advance, before being packed into the refrigeration chamber of a steamer used for the transportation of frozen meat. The flowers were displayed in their blocks of ice, apparently still in a perfect state of presentation, and succeeded in winning their New Zealand gardener several certificates and a silver gilt medal for their unique display. By the end of its life, the aquarium had acquired a rather low moral status due to its reputation as a popular haunt for local prostitutes and the men who sought them, as well as the types of clientele attracted by its theatrical and sporting events. In 1895, for instance, the aquarium hosted the first event for the short-lived spectacle of ladies' bicycle races, held on a temporary velodrome track erected in the main hall of the building, and attended by audience comprised mostly of curious men. The demolition of the Royal Aquarium in 1903 thus came as quite a relief to the upper classes of Westminster, for whom the site was greatly elevated by the arrival of the Methodists in 1905.